brand new update for Forza Motorsport is here. They're promising a huge slew of quality of life updates, and also there's a massive feature track coming as well. This is available now. I'm going to let you know whether it's worth downloading or not. So there's going to be new Spotlight, new Career, but let me just go to some of the quality of life features that might make it more tempting for you to dip back into Forza or download it for the first time. So somehow they have managed to decrease the file size of the installation by 30 gigabytes on PC. That is absolutely massive, and it's 25 gigabytes on Xbox. That does mean that the patch is going to be a little bit larger at 15 gigabytes, but how they've reduced all of that space, I don't know. Have they just binned a load of cars and tracks that no one's driving on? Let's talk about some of the quality of life things. So the PC stability, they say they've fixed issues with infinite loading screens, which is great. They've also reduced the CPU usage, so it should be running a little bit better. This is a big one. Proximity arrows are now enabled for all players by default in multiplayer. Love it. You know, like in Gran Turismo, not everyone uses radar, but perhaps everyone should. Now in Forza, it's going to be on by default. And also the angle of the proximity arrows is going to base itself on the car position relative to the car and camera. Basically, it should be more accurate. They're saying there's going to be more accurate proximity arrows going on. So it should be more akin to a radar. Whether they should just put in a radar, probably. Shared tunes not appearing after the 8th tune in search results. They say they are fixed. I've encountered that also with replays and stuff like that, where it just stops loading stuff. Hopefully they're going to fix it. They're also fixing some of the textures at Le Mans and Old Mulsanne, so down in France, getting ready, no doubt, for the Le Mans 24 Hours. Now, the big feature edition is a brand new track. It is coming for free, and that is Brands Hatch, one of my favourite circuits to drive. They gave some weird promo blurb with it saying located a short drive from London. Okay, I've literally never heard that before, but that is coming to Forza Motorsport. Really fun track, should be amazing to drive in some of the old school sort of retro Formula cars that Forza has. So here's what's coming with the Car Pass. We've got Car Pass Ginetta G55 GT4. Again, that should be great if Grant's hat. We've got some Tour de France Matra Simca. No idea what that is. We've got a 2016 Ligier that again should be an amazing car to drive. These are the Car Pass ones, and this is the end of the Car Pass, by the way. So if you were a VIP purchaser of Forza Motorsport, you got access to a load of these cars, 30 cars from launch, but that is now done. There is going to be no more cars added to the Car Pass, I believe. They're also adding the usual tours. So we've got a retro racer tour that's going to add, using some of the old school retro cars in the game. There's a 1960s tour as well. So for some reason, Forza are going really retro. Also, there's a new featured multiplayer. I'm not going to go into it massively because it's all sort of the same. We're used to the format now. Featured rivals. There's no Logitech G Challenge anymore. That's gone, but we've got some new featured rivals. One of them is going to be at Brands Hatch in 96.9 Lola, so that is going to be a fun one. I don't know why they're going old school. Everything Forza is doing here is old school. Maybe Forza have realised that's actually where their strengths lay. You can see on screen here, by the way, I'm putting all of the actual new rivals and the new Spotlight series that are coming, the vintage Le Mans. I feel like we're in this age of Forza now where I don't really know what Forza can do to actually get new players into the game. I think it only had one shot at launch and it kind of fumbled the ball here. I mean, it looks incredible. The game, you know, the sounds are amazing. The control, the handling, well, the controls are not great. The handling takes a lot to dial in. You know, they really balked the way they did the upgrade mechanisms by locking you behind their car upgrade path. The graphics are weird sometimes, like here at Spa. I mean, look how weird that looked at Spa. Sometimes it looks really good, sometimes it doesn't look so good. You know, you do have a great choice of cars. And if you want to mess around and just drive cars on a controller, I would say it is a fun game. And if you've got Game Pass, it's sort of a no-brainer to download it. And maybe that's why they focused on reducing the file size. But if you want to improve as a racing driver and you want to race against people online and race against the same people online, you're so much better off in Gran Turismo with the way Gran Turismo does it. You'll be racing in similar splits against similar people with an actual safety rating system that most people care about, where the handling model, you know, rewards you as a driver. It's not trying to be overly dramatic. It's just trying to be a platform for you to express your driving. Whereas Forza seems to be, it almost wants to be a TV show or a movie. It wants to have the camera swaying around. It wants every exhaust to spit flame. It wants there to be a load of drama when you crash and sort of shake the camera around when there's contact between cars. So I think Forza's in this sort of weird place. I'd love to know from you, by the way, in the comments what you think Forza should do to improve. I'm going to let you know what I think it should do. I think Forza needs to do a Forza Motorsport 2.0 where they basically change the whole look of the game in terms of the UI. I think they need to have an actual career where you go through with a story. Maybe they can license in some characters or some real world drivers and you sort of replicate their story through Motorsport. I feel like they've rushed so much to get as many cars and tracks in the game without thinking if there's actually a compelling reason for players to go in there. I think they definitely need to get people in to help them with the steering wheel settings and the presets. That's super important. Maybe have just steering wheel lobbies and controller lobbies, because Forza is a lot more fun to play on a controller. It's a lot more difficult to drive on a steering wheel. And it is one of these things where if you're on a wheel, you can feel like, hang on, I'm being disadvantaged here against the people on controller, or maybe I should just be playing on a controller myself. The game looks great. I think they should completely redo the replay system and the photo mode, which is absolutely terrible. Just look at what Gran Turismo do. I mean, if you've ever tried navigating a replay in Forza and changing the camera, it's like pulling your own teeth out without using a mirror. They can keep adding content, keep adding tracks. Look, we know that the car pass has been adding cars that presumably were pretty much available at launch. They've also been adding free tracks that again were presumably available at launch. They're going to run out of that content and then they're going to have to do something to keep players and get new players in. But the reality is that, I feel proud that I've tried to give you an honest take on Forza and let you know what the strengths are and what the weaknesses are. And some of those have been addressed. They are talking about quality of life now. Remember, they did that unprecedented statement where they said, look, we recognise that the game is not where it should be. But I think they just need to do a lot more. Adding VR would potentially be a huge thing for Forza. Maybe they can engage more with the community, run community events. Maybe, what about bringing back the Forza sort of World Tour multiplayer thing and enticing esports players and getting that feedback? I'm rarely someone who sort of is for making racing games too esports heavy, because I feel like the game starts serving a very small proportion of players and concentrating on features that don't actually benefit the majority. But Forza's an exception for me. I really feel like Forza needs that people giving actual feedback on what the driving's like, what the racing is like, getting creators involved, doing livery competitions, maybe doing sort of replay direction competitions. It needs to kindle that community. There's plenty of Xbox owners and Xbox fans out there that would love Forza to be strong. And I feel like as racing fans, we want Forza to be good competition to Gran Turismo. And it's just not really there at the moment. But that's Forza Update 7. I'm going to be trying it out. So make sure you keep an eye on this channel for my impressions of Brands Hatch and new features. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.